I have so many questions right now. So
Let's start with one.
Hear me out though. It's a series of questions. They all go together. It's like a puzzle. Will Liverpool have a chance of winning the Europa League next season?
Okay.
Will Virgil and Salah sign a multi-million-dollar contract in Saudi? Because I don't know if they're gonna stay there next year.
Salah seems more unlikely than Virgil, I think.
Will Arne Slot join the ranks of Amorim and Ten Hag? What do you think? Because I don't know. I don't feel like Arne Slot can survive this.
Yeah, he's coming out in the press more often too, and kind of saying some shaky things where it's like, look, man, I think that I was right last year, and people in the moment were like, don't you do that? That's you're just
What did you say? Talk to them.
I said that he inherited a great squad.
Yes.
And all of them were more tactically in step with each other as well. When you inherit a great squad, it's one thing. When you inherit a great squad that are used to running a very tight ship together, that's something else entirely. I think that Manchester United's a good example. Carrick inherited a good squad, not a great squad, and they had no tactics to speak of, really. So he's having to implement the tactics.
Yeah,
you could almost, with this Liverpool side that he inherited from Klopp, go, well, what do you guys want to do?
Yeah,
and what they're gonna, it's like, well, what we want to do is win, and we've been winning.
Yeah,
so we're going to we'd appreciate if that goes kind of unchanged. And you could see that as well. Like, everybody was tactically in step, but they were still playing quite a bit like they were under Klopp, with just a little bit less aggression and a little less exposure of being countered by like quick
without
presses and
cutting you
whatnot.
off though, and that's true. And we often don't talk about how technical the squad was though, even though they didn't have a deep bench. But you had Luis Diaz, you had the guy on the right side, which is he's a Real Madrid now. His name just got off my mind. You had him, and you had the other guy at the top. So you had this combination of people that are technically savvy. Luis Diaz could smother you at any time, although he might not score, but you will not be able to withstand that for 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's one of those squads that really they could have. That sounds reductive, and it sounds like what's his face didn't do any of the Baldy. Why am I forgetting his Slot?
Slot. Yeah.
Why? I mean, he did plenty of things, but when your squad's that tight and that well-rounded and that gifted, you can almost just let them out on their own.
Yeah.
Because they spent the last 4 or 5 years under very strict regiment, and they were all there for a very long time. So, you could just like give Virgil a phone call at the beginning of the game. Hey man, this one, just yep, you got it, you're good, and just like you can go take a vacation.
Lock them up.
yeah. I'm in the Wendy's drive-through. I hear Liverpool's playing great.
Yeah.
I don't even need to be there today.
Mm-hmm. That's good. For Pep Guardiola, I'm also not sure if he will make it. I feel like he's trying to find an exit, because now every time he goes, when he's doing press, it's a lot of trolling. I wonder if he's trying to find another exit.
They get more they get more snarky the closer they are to the door.
Yeah,
all of them. It's a very funny thing, and it's something that American sports I don't see a ton of. I don't watch a ton of American sports anymore, but European managers have a bit more personality, but they always do that. They're already pointing fingers, not often to the players like Ruben Amorim. I don't think starting with like, this is the worst squad this club's ever had. That's never good. I don't know if we ever needed someone to actually do that to know that it's a bad thing to do, but I appreciate that he did that for everyone. But yeah, you start pointing at people up top. You start poking at journalists for asking usually decent questions. Yeah. What happened today? He's like, what do you mean we lost? Like, yeah. Like, what do you think that you need to improve on?
I think he will not make it, and if he does, rebuilding, I don't know. I feel like he's a little bit stuck right now, and the reason is also because you cannot. It's hard to replace man for man, meaning skills for skill.
But he did it before, which is the thing.
He did it before.
He replaced David Silva with Kevin De Bruyne. He replaced Fernandinho with Rodri.
But when he got to City, he already had De Bruyne, right?
Yeah. But you can choose. Because he was nothing like he was then at that point. Silva was still your number one. Sure.
That's true. Not refusing that. But you already had the guy. It's different from I gotta go buy someone and integrate in my system, and I think that's what he's having problem with now. And when you mention even at Bayern, I remember he already had Schweinsteiger. He had all these guys, which is hard for rebuilding this team. And I said it last year. Now I want to see how good he is. He is at rebuilding. Yeah, because he's never had to rebuild externally.
Yeah.
He always had the internal guys, either from someone that wasn't playing great and he will just integrate and be like, you know what, drop to a 6. You probably will be good at an 8, which is great. Not every manager can do that because there's just a small pool of managers that can do that. But rebuilding the squad too is also hard, and not every manager can build from ground.
And the thing is, now you can't quite take chances on new guys coming in because the guys that you currently have are not guys that you can fall back on. Yeah. You know, 4 years ago when Foden was coming off the bench, right? And it was obviously he was the one coming off the bench. You could take a chance on a 19 or 20-year-old player. And if it didn't work out, you still had everybody in the midfield. But like now, if you don't have somebody that immediately comes in and works, the whole thing goes down because Silva can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rodri's ever going to be able to do it anymore. And it's too early to have that conversation exactly, but I think that we can start kind of nodding in that direction of like the physicality might not ever return the way that it was. But now you don't have the luxury of signing a young player and going, you know, after a year, he's going to go on loan. He's going to come back. We're going to see what happens. And we'll probably send him off. You don't have the padding at any single position to be able to do that. So he's in a position now where he has to ensure that whoever comes in is not only coming off the bench, like these guys are starting over Silva. There's nobody that can replace Silva, and Silva's not good enough to continue either. So now you're looking for a world-class midfielder with the same assets that can immediately come in and flourish, and that makes it even harder for you.
That is true.
Because he spent several windows getting players that were clearly not good enough. The Savinhos, the Mateus Nunes. I think Aït-Nouri had an okay game. He's getting into decent form. Kuzanov, so you've got these guys that immediately come in and go, oh, they're not at the level. Yeah, not at the level at all.
Or they can follow instruction rigidly like he wants them to. There's two things that will happen: is either this squad kind of start clicking next season, which I don't think there's a lot of people in the squad that will work out for the system he wants to play, or Pep starts changing the system. Because yes, it's good to say these players can work out for his system, but there's another thing though. Because a coach is supposed to know when to change. Yeah. So what can you do with the players you have? For every the other coach, we say that. But for Pep, it's like, okay, he needs to find players. He needs to find players.
It's clear and obvious that the reason that they're not still performing in the old Pep way is because it's not because it doesn't work anymore, but like these guys physically can't do it. Yeah. None of these guys have that technical ability anymore. So he's having to figure out what tactics do work. And then when you have kind of just grabbed people from here and there and everywhere with different play styles from different leagues, with different expectations and different previous experience and capability, not one tactical regiment's going to work for everybody also. And so he's really caught between lack of skill from the squad and extreme limitation of what universal tactic can be implemented for the entire squad, not just a few key players to flourish. Everybody has to be able to succeed at a certain level for those tactics to work.
That's true.